I got the notification. So we are live after many failed attempts. We are here. We do have it working. So, Lane, AJ, and Kat, you guys have gone as far as you can in this game. Power now shifts to the jury. They're here to ask you your questions. As you know, they already got your opening statements. So, we're going to go ahead and bring our first juror in, the wonderful and beautiful Megan.
Megan, you are frozen. Oh, that's why. There she is.
Hi.
Let me kick the other one of you. There we go.
Perfect. Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
Good. Glad to be here.
So I'm going to make this really super easy. I want to warn you in advance. The jury is less than happy. I am not of that same opinion. I think that it was a very unique game, in my opinion, and that everybody who is at the end right now had a path of their own. There are a few questions that I have and a few statements that I would like to make, if that's okay with y'all. First, I want to start with Lane. First of all, Lane, I want to say thank you so much for being very clear and concise and owning your moves inside of your video thing. Sorry, I have a dog. I need a dog on me. Stop, you're fine. So I want to say thank you so much for being really clear and telling very detailed specifics about what your moves were. It's like you showed up with receipts, and I feel that the jury really took to that and really appreciated that. So I want to say thank you for that. Also, in my opinion, when I played with you, I felt that you and I didn't necessarily connect on a game level, even though I think you're the most lovely human, and I love your little human as well. I don't think that you and I really, really did game things together. So it will be a little bit difficult for me to vote for you. However, I do appreciate that everything that we have chatted about, and that you gave me the opportunity to speak with you. When it comes to Kat, I had a question, Kat. First of all, I want to say that I'm sad that we didn't work together earlier. I feel like there was some paranoia happening, and because of that paranoia, kept us from really kind of making a real connection, and that makes me sad. At least in this specific game, a game connection. However, I had a question for you, and that was, did AJ tell you that Jesse was going home? Because the reason why I'm asking this specifically is because in your statement, you said that both Jesse and AJ were integral to your game, and I wanted to know whether or not you were made aware that the Jesse vote was happening.
I was not. I was completely blindsided. It was the first time I felt like I was on the bottom because I was completely left out. And I was left out by like pretty much everybody. There was only 3 votes for Amy that round. That was the round that we were talking about, but yet several people knew about that vote. Gigi, Darcy, Julia, they all knew about that vote. I want to say I even maybe brought it to you, but I can't really remember. I have like brain fog about that. But no, I did not know Jesse was going home. I was really upset when that happened because I was working with Jesse. So I get why. And I think when I talked to a few people after that vote, AJ didn't tell me about the fact that he voted for him until after. And kind of like explained the vote, as did Gigi, as did Lindsay, as did I think you. So like the people that were honest about it after the fact, I appreciated because I understood.
So in that same thread, how did you and AJ manage to work together after that really significant blindside?
I think it's because he was honest and he was straight up. And the other people like Gigi and Lindsay were also honest about that. So honesty goes a long way with me. Now, something came up during rites of passage that really kind of like threw me for a loop is that Lane also was in on that vote, yet blamed it on Julia. So
Yeah.
Julia got all the blame for that vote, and this is why, and that was part of the reason I couldn't trust her. And I'll speak to Julia about that if she wants to ask me more about that. But I found out at Rites of Passage that Lane was part of that vote and didn't tell me.
Right. He absolutely was. And that's one of the things that he admitted to in his video to us. So that was the reason why I was complimenting him on that. So thank you so much for your clear and concise answer. I really do appreciate it. AJ, I love you. I love you. And you know how much I love you and how much I just love your face. I think you're amazing and hilarious and so great, which is what everybody feels about you. Every single person absolutely loves AJ, which makes it even that much more difficult, I think, for you when you vote out those people who you make those intimate connections with. I don't have a problem with it. As you know, it's a game. I have no problems with it. I don't hold grudges whatsoever. But I just want to know, for one, so everybody knows that I had this huge, gigantic advantage. Unfortunately, it was not played well from my perspective. However, I feel, and this is something that you kind of alluded to a little bit in your video, that you played my advantage well. So you knew that I had an advantage, and you soothed me into thinking that I don't need to play it this time. And oh my gosh, Kat's got an idol, so she's going to use it if you play it on her, what have you. And so my question to you is, did you give Kat the details of what my idol was about? And if you did not, why?
Okay, I'll elaborate on that whole thing. So when you initially came to me and you transferred the power to me and we made that plan together, I would have stuck by that plan. I didn't make an alliance with Kat and Lane, I believe, until Final 12. So when it came to like the Jesse vote and all that stuff, I was open to working with other people. It's just the round that you went home specifically. Like I know you, girl. I know you. Like, so when I knew I tried to get on a call with you, like, oh, I'm planning a trip with my wife. I'm like, she would have called me back by now. So when I'm trying to call you and you were answering, I was like, shit. So like I was trying to play you guys both back and forth to try to I tried to call you again and get in touch with you that night because I knew that you were coming for me. And I was trying to figure out a way to like work it out with you to be like, hey girl, I know you're coming for me. Like, can we go somewhere else? And that was always something I was fearful in this game, was because I did have so many relationships with everyone. Because I feel like I overdid it because I really liked everyone here. And in other games you probably see me play, I struggle to find connections with people. And in this game, like I connected with a lot of people, so it made it even harder. But I did tell Kat and Lane about your advantage, but I think it was the round. I don't remember if it was that round or, yeah, I believe it was that round. But we had talked about the power when it expired and stuff like that between us. And I was kind of like, trying to tell them, but play it off to both sides to get what I wanted, if that essentially makes sense. I know I'm about to run out of time. Sorry.
No worries. Thank you again so much. I really appreciate it. Be honest and own every single thing that you did. Be proud. Bye, guys. Love you.
All right, Megan. All right. Okay.
Aston is here.
Yeah. Next up is Aston for our first juror. Go ahead. Your timer starts when you start talking.
Aston, you are muted.
Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Hey guys, so I am very undecided on my vote, mostly because I had no chance to talk to 2 out of 3 of you, really. AJ, we only were in a swap for 1 round, and we didn't even really get a chance to talk. So my first question to you guys is, I want each of you to compare your game to a Survivor player.
Okay.
Who wants to start?
I can start. That's fine.
Go for it.
I kind of feel a little bit like a Suri, only because I say that because people underestimated Suri and didn't really give her a whole lot of credit for things when she actually did more than people realize. And that's exactly how this game went for me. So the only player I can come up with for that question, which is a great question, is Suri, because I felt very underestimated. I felt like people didn't give me the credit. I feel like maybe even in this FTC, people aren't going to see me, but I'm going to speak up and let y'all know, hey, I still got my spot here and I deserve to be here. So, and that's how I felt like it was for Suri, especially in Micronesia.
I'll go. I'm not like an avid Survivor person, so I'm just gonna go to who I like and who I like watched a ton back. I think my game is kind of like Poverty. She was able to get close to people. People loved her, and she was able to essentially get people to do what she wants. She was able to make decisions, and she was able to sway people. She was able to get close to even the biggest threats in the game and make them her ally. And she was able to kind of play the game, but also disconnect from the game and tell the two apart. And I think she did an excellent game, like an excellent player, and I think she's one of the best. So I would say my gameplay is like Poverty.
For me, I think I would go with Fabio. I think that him and I relate a lot just because we are kind of like not all there all the time, and we can use that to our advantage. And like he did, he was able to make moves under people that no one knew about, and I think I can do that pretty well as him.
All right. My next question is, all my questions are for all of you, just a heads up. I want to know what the hardest decision you had to make this game was.
I can go. The hardest decision I had to make in this game was kind of who to trust, where to go, because I knew that there were multiple alliances with the same people that I was aligned to, and because I had built the connections with those people, and I had gotten close to a lot of people, that it made my decision making extremely hard. And I will say the hardest decision I had to make in this game was to vote Darcy, because I could tell by the look on her eyes that I hurt her, and that's the hardest vote I've ever had to do, because me and her connected on a, I don't know, just like a friend level, and it was like talking to a family member. So I felt like I really hurt her. So that was really hard.
Yeah, so for me, my hardest was Gigi, because I I loved our connection so much in this game, and with me and Gigi, like, we played together from the swap on, and I told her I wanted to go as far as I could with her, but I had made other promises and we never had like a final three agreement or anything like that, but we did have a final six agreement, and then somewhere along the way I was like, no, I want her as far as I can go with her, because not only because of our connection personally, but because I'll like honestly respect Gigi as a person, and I felt like she deserved her spot. In addition to the fact that we had a really close bond, so Gigi was my hardest vote.
Just 1 second, please. My hardest decision was definitely the Julia thing with the vote on Jesse and trying to frame everything on Julia and making that work. That was definitely my hardest decision. Sorry, guys. Yeah, and just trying to keep up that lie and make that move forward, because that really did benefit my game in the long run. That move changed the whole game. It got me to work with AJ and move forward all the way to the end.
All right, so my next question, two of you already answered, actually. When you were answering when you answered the last question. And that is, who was your hardest vote and why?
Oh yeah, for me it was Gigi, obviously, and for all the reasons I stated already.
AJ had already answered. Lane, that's on you now.
Mine was the Julia vote. And yeah, all the same reasons from the last reason.
Alright, that is all the questions I have. I wish you guys the best of luck in answering them. Bye, guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Ashley.
you.
Am I on stage? Okay. Yes, I am. Next up is the beautiful and the snake caller on herself, Julia.
Julia, you are muted.
Of course. Hey guys. Am really happy to, well, not really, but I'm happy to see some of you guys up here. But yeah, so kind of all snaked me in some type of way. So first, my first question is for Lane. So can you describe your gameplay further than going with the majority and downplaying your social game?
Can you repeat that? You glitched out. Sorry.
I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, I was gonna say your stream is very laggy at the moment.
Yeah, it's going in and out.
If you want to go to where it's there
I
should
don't
be
know
a
why.
feature that says like low latency.
I don't know why.
There should be a feature that says low latency. Turn that on. We'll pause
Nope.
your time for right now.
Okay. You want me to go on my phone?
Yeah, that's all right. You can come back.
This is so annoying. Okay, hold on.
All right. All right, she'll be back.
Okay.
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 Jay, do we want to restart her time? You are muted. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right, Julia. Whenever you're ready, your time starts now. Whenever you start talking.
Okay. All right. Hi guys. I don't know what you guys heard or not. Okay. So obviously I would love to be there with you guys. But I'm really happy sort of that you guys are up there. I am proud of you guys because you guys did something that we all couldn't do, obviously. So my first question is for Lane. Can you describe your gameplay further besides going with the majority and downplaying your social aspect?
Yeah, I didn't always go with the majority. I was the one always throwing out rogue votes. I actually was one of the people that took out Dustin, and no one knew that going into the finale, unless you guys figured that out. But
No, we
right before, my game was very behind the scenes, and I knew I had to play that way because previously I don't make it to final tribal councils because I play too flashy, and I win too much, and yeah, I had to downplay that, and using that was a huge advantage.
Okay. And also, I guess like a follow-up question to that. I know you already said that you lied to Kat about me voting Jesse when I obviously voted Amy. Can you explain why you did that? Because obviously everyone stopped trusting me after that.
Yeah, you were the biggest social threat to my game. You were my number one until after the Brandon vote, because you were the most social player. You were my biggest threat, and I feel like everyone was connecting us, so I had to flip it onto you to make myself less of a threat, because I knew socially I wasn't gonna be picking that spot up.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Lane. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Okay, so can you hear me? Or no? Yeah, okay. All right, Kat. Okay, so since you were my closest ally next to Lane, when did you decide going against me was the right move, or did you regret that? And kind of explain that, please.
I think finding out what I did about Lane lying to me, I do regret that part of it because I regret not coming to you and believing you. The issue with you was that a couple people had already come to me saying you leaked my idol. So there was some trust that was lost there, unless so for me it was hard. Like maybe I still could have gone to you, but like I had a hard time. Like once I found that out, when people were coming to me saying, "Oh, I know about your idol because Julia told me," you weren't the only one. I think that told people about my idol. I think AJ also did that, but like it was the difference is I think like for me it felt like it was done first by you, but I don't know the timeline. I just know that's kind of where I lost it, like with you, but I generally loved our connection and I wanted to be in the end with you like so bad, but when that happened, I felt like I lost something there and it was really hard.
Okay. No, I get that. And then, all right. No, I appreciate that. Thank you, Kat. And then, all right, AJ. So I have a fun question for you. I want to see how well you know me. So if you can pick a favorite movie character or TV show character to describe me and yourself, what would you like? Who would you pick and why?
Huh. Honestly, like it might not like it was my childhood favorite show, but I always loved Scooby Doo, and I think I'd be like Shaggy, like the ditzy, like don't know what's going on, always stone person, and you would be like Daphne, and like you'd always be like, no, come on, Shaggy, just because that was our relationship. And I also do want to apologize to you about your vote. I had figured out that they had voted Dustin just because how close they were with Jesse, and then all of a sudden, as soon as Jesse's going around asking who voted Dustin, they were ready to vote him out. So with the way things were going, I didn't know who was with who because at the time, like I thought I was trying to work with you, and then me and you were trying to work with Megan. I knew Megan filled you in, and then I thought the four of us were working together. So I didn't know kind of what to say and what not to say because you were telling me this stays here, and they were telling me what I was saying. You were repeating, so I was scared to say anything. It wasn't that I didn't respect you or wanted to just leave you on red; is didn't know what to say. So I do apologize for that.
So so I guess this is the same. I don't know how many more seconds I have. But I guess it's the same for everyone. How much?
You have like 2:13.
Okay. All right. So I guess
Like,
this is okay. So this is the same question for everyone. So I had final two deals with everyone of you three. Was that true, or were you just spinning game? Like, was any of that true?
No,
It was
I instantly
it was
connected with you, and I was open to going with you. I knew that the reason why I created the chat with the four of us, and then the one with you and Megan, was because I was trying to like have a disconnect that me and you could go that route, so we could go further. I was trying to get you away from them to get you to trust me more. Obviously, that didn't work out, but you were someone that I like vibe with, and like I wasn't bullshitting you in any of our conversations, and I get that from you as well. You're a straight shooter, and that's why I liked you. So I would have gone really far into the game with you. So
Okay.
I wasn't after you.
it was absolutely true for me. Like our connection was very deep. I felt like we talked about a lot of real stuff, not just game, and I appreciate that about you. But like I already said, like the reason why I had to walk away from it was for what I stated before about leaking my idol. But Jinkies was very special to me, and that was the final three that I wanted. And had those things not happened, like I would have gone all the way. Like there would have been no question about it.
Okay.
For me too, exactly what I said in the last point. To the point of like the second merge vote, I did want to go to the end with you, and then I realized that we were kind of at the bottom, and the only way for me to get out of the bottom was to take you out.
Okay. All right.
You also
That makes sense. That helps. Wait, what was that?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but
I didn't feel like you guys were at the bottom. I thought you guys were
I
winning the
was
game.
put I was put on the bottom with that Jesse vote. So that's just
Yeah,
anyway,
we both were. Me and you both were, and then you came and accused me of that, which I didn't do, obviously. But thank you guys. All right.
Okay.
No,
That is your
yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
all right.
I believe we're waiting for her to get on. The next step is
Whenever she's here.
yes, one we're always waiting on. Amy.
Yeah, she did get the episode title for a reason.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
She's
Whenever she joins the train.
This is my StreamYard. This is my StreamYard. This is my StreamYard. Oh yeah.
I hear her voice.
I hear her.
But
there with us.
just give us a second.
Sorry.
Anyways, for everyone watching, thank you.
Yes. I don't know if it's working for Amy.
Yeah, we're trying to get the link ready for her. Oh, she's here.
Okay. There she is. All right, we're bringing on Amy.
Amy, all right.
Oh my lord, that was the dumbest shit ever, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm old. I'm old.
All right, Amy, your time starts whenever you start talking.
All right. Can y'all hear me better here?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're all good.
Facebook page. I screwed myself. Hi, y'all. Like I said, I'm old and it's on my phone. Give me 1 minute. Sorry. God damn it. Shut up. We're going to exit out of that. Back to that. All right. So since my phone is obviously the one recording me, hi. So stop. Sorry, I got a dog too. All right. So my first question, stop, is going to be to Kat. Can you pause my time for like 2 seconds so I can take his
Yes, you're fine.
ass out? I'm so
Can
sorry.
we see the doggy? I want to see the doggy.
Yeah.
Me too.
I figure out how to change it. You see him?
Oh, she's so pretty.
Oh,
He
I love
is. He's
husbands.
amazing. He's Loki, and he's crazy as hell.
That's
But
stop. That's the dog look. That Loki somewhere.
I'm like, okay. So my first question is to Kat. Okay, did you ever? And I'm reading it because it's been a long day. Did you ever plan to work with me and Dustin, or were you just bullshitting us?
No, I absolutely did. The problem with us was when the swap happened and we were all separated, and I felt like I grew closer to Lane and Julia on the swap, and even Gigi and Darcy. So, like, that swap was really unfortunate for us. And I felt like once we finally did meet back up, I felt like maybe, like, actually, not maybe, I felt like I lost the two of you there because we didn't talk as much as we did when we were on, like, ACDC. I miss, like, that was a very special chat to me because I felt like we all connected. Like, I missed that chat. So when we got separated, it was really tough, and I had to pivot and find new people, and I did find new people, and I felt like when we finally did meet up, like, y'all had different people too. So, like, it was really tough. But no, I loved that chat, and I loved the two of you, and I just hate that we got split up.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Again, I'm going to read. Lane, if you didn't even want to try to work with me, why did you tell me to vote Megan? I do appreciate the daily talks, even though it was never game. Because I guess my add on to the question was, do you think I was an easier vote than Megan?
No, I didn't want you to go. And just like I said in my previous ones, like, I really did want to downplay the social game. I had like 3 people that I just wanted to work with, and that was kind of it. And I wanted to let you know on that because you said your phone was dying, and like, I needed one more vote. And honestly, at that point, I thought I could trust you the most out of all the remaining people not to go and tell Megan. So that's why I worked with you on
Yep.
that.
And he
Okay.
did. I was bowling, and he said, I told him, I said, my phone's about to go dead. That's what are we doing? And he told me. So I appreciate that as well. And I'm going to keep it short because I know I'm probably running out of time. AJ, do me one favor. Please admit you started that original 6 group.
With the 6 of all of us, yes, I did. It was a thing about Aston who said that they wanted to go. Brandon kept asking me to make the group. He was like, do you want me to make it or will you make it? Will you make it? Will you make it? Will you make it? So I did make the group, but it was never to be like, oh, we're running the game in dominance. It was all about us coming together and agreeing to vote away. It was a way that I was trying to work with you all. I told you all about my idol. It was a way that, like, I felt we were all busy and we were trying to, one, be there for Aston, but also just be straightforward to be able to work together in the future. And I think I even said that in the chat. I was like, this isn't, us saying we're going to be to the end together. It's us saying, hey, like, if there's an opportunity and this opens up again, here we go. That's what it was about.
Okay. So my other one is, once Brandon and Dustin were gone, why did you even keep that alliance when you had no thought of working with me?
I did. I never wanted
it was the Flirty Four. It became the Flirty Four.
Right. So in that,
it went from 6 to 5 to 4.
So within that, the
That's
reason
my
why. No, I didn't. I wanted to work with you and I wanted to work with Megan. And I know that we were both busy because when we originally swapped, it was you and Dustin that I connected with the most. I was worried that when Dustin went home that you might think it was me, because we didn't get to connect, because I felt like our connection was Dustin. And we did chat a little bit in that group. But because I felt like Brandon had spotlighted that group so much, I was scared to really say anything or anybody really do anything in there because I felt like it could create a target press because somehow that group got around. And I was like, oh, if we vote all together again, then people are going to look at what he said and then target us. It wasn't anything towards you and didn't mean that I wanted you out. I was sincere the day that on your vote out. I do care about you and I want to know about your date with Chris Jericho. But I was nothing against you and I never wanted you out particularly. I never wanted to target you.
Okay. And I do appreciate all of y'all because I did ask to be gone that round because it's been a lot. But last question. If you could have 2 other people other than the 3 sitting here, 2 people sitting next to you, who would it be? Or is that the same question that Aston asked?
Mine would be
I don't.
Lindsay and Darcy.
Mine would be Julia and Gigi, because I said that in my opening speech. Like, they would be the two, actually, that I would say if I had to give up my spot, it'd be to them, because I feel like they deserve to be here too. So if it was going to be two people sitting next to me, other than these two, who I love very much, but other than these two, it would be those two.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Lane.
Honestly, I'd probably pick Gigi and probably Julia. Those two I had the best connections with, like, so I probably would have chose them just because I enjoy their presence.
Hello. All right, that's all the questions I have. So congratulations to making final three, and best of luck to all three of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. All right. Jay, you can unmute. Oh, go ahead.
Yes. Sorry, so I'm gonna wait for him. I believe it's Jesse. He's not on here yet.
Who is not currently here, so
Yeah.
we will filibuster until Jesse's here. How's everyone doing?
Can this be a bathroom break?
Yes, because Jesse. Yeah, I don't even think Jesse's seen the link yet.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I'm going to run to the bathroom.
And apparently,
But my foot is asleep.
I'm not sure why Jay just, took out that drink like that, but I guess it's also a drink break.
My foot is asleep, y'all. I feel like Uma Thurman. Oh, it's hurting.
Once he's here, we'll get this started. Okay, Jesse said he's on his way.
Oh, I'm running.
Hey, Jay, take your bathroom break real quick if you want. We'll be.
All right.
I'll be right back.
Let me just kick Amy from here real quick. Okay. Antonio, you're backstage. Come on, filibuster with us while we wait.
All right, do right now.
What's up?
Fill in while we wait for Jesse.
I can't hear you. It sounds there's an echo.
I said fill in while we wait for Jesse.
Fill in while we wait for Jesse.
Fill in. What am I girl? I don't know nothing. What do you want me to fill in?
First thing that pops to your head.
Wait, Jesse's here, guys. Jesse's here.
Oh, thank
Jesse's
you.
here?
Because I'm not a good staller.
Jesse is not here. Jesse is not on my screen.
Did we send him the wrong link?
I got it.
Because he's
That is
saying
that is a
backstage.
possibility. Hold on.
That sounds the wrong one. That could be my bad, y'all.
Peter, you're the staller.
Peter is banned from sending out links.
Thank God. Back to drinking.
I gotta do the votes later, so I'm not drinking either.
All right, once he's here, we'll get this started. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is. Okay, next up we have great old Southern boy Jesse.
Yes, HVAC king himself.
Oh, wow. What's going on? Congratulations to you three for making it all the way to the finals. I want to say I had a great time with y'all. I do have different questions for all three of y'all. So, Lane, so my question is for you. What was your thought? So this goes back to my tribal council where I got. The question is, were you on the plan, and what made you come up with that plan to send me to the jury?
So I missed the first part of that question. You cut out. So can I just get that back?
Yeah, I'm just saying. The first when I went to the jury, were you on that vote, and what was really the motivation to send me to the jury?
Okay, so before the vote, I was on a call with Julia. No one was talking to me. No one was telling me anything, but everyone was telling Julia everything, and she was telling me over the phone. and I was telling her I was gonna vote Darcy, I think was the idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that I had to make moves behind the scenes, and my move wasn't to get you out. It was just to put a vote on you and cause confusion, because people knew I was with you. I had no idea that there was going to be like 7 votes for you. I just knew that there was going to be at least 2, because she was saying that Megan and Lindsay were going to vote that way.
Okay, I got you. All right, AJ. Me and you really haven't had that. I ain't had a lot of conversations. Haven't really had deep, conversations. In all honesty, so I'm hoping you can really, help me, see what I'm not seeing through your gameplay. I'm sure you probably had amazing gameplay, but my question is really, what point in time of the game do you think that really got you to the top of everybody and really gave you a good tunnel, vision to the end? What was your top move of the whole game?
Well, I'll just give you the moves that kind of, I think, propelled me, because it wasn't one thing. It was a bunch of different things. It was like I had to move plates, essentially. It was like I was serving tables. When we got to merge, Kat told me about every advantage she had, and that she trusted you 100%, and then who she was working with. And I foresaw y'all, because y'all had been to tribals and stuff previously, as the people to be. I don't think that necessarily y'all were ever on the bottom, because Lane had a safety without power. She had an idol. You could have done serious damage with that. I came from a swap tribe where just Lindsay, Gigi, and Darcy had been with y'all. So I foresaw my little group as being on the bottom. So I made sure to cut numbers from Kat to eventually pull Lane and her closer, and then be able to start taking numbers from myself, so that both sides needed me. Now, I will say that I got to a point that I was in a final 3 with Gigi and Darcy, and a final 3 with Lane and Kat, and that kind of got me into some trouble. But that's why Lindsay had to go, because I had to choose between the two. Okay, well, if Lindsay leaves, then Darcy and Gianna, I voted with them. They're not mad at me. So I knew I could be right there in the middle, but I also had my idol. So I won out to get there, but I also made moves and cut from different sides. I didn't play from the background. I admitted to all my moves, and I was in everybody's faces. I know that if I didn't win, then I was going home, but I wasn't afraid to be upfront and to be vocal. And people knew what I was doing, and I had the social connections with people, or they wouldn't have been so hurt and mad at me.
Well, I think you did a pretty good job, buddy. You really weren't on anybody's spotlight, since I've been there. I thought about taking you out at some point in time, but I don't know. You were. I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
I was on a call with Megan, and she told me like that y'all were having a conversation about how you had her, and you were telling her how you and Lane were throwing votes on Darcy. And in my head, you and me weren't having those conversations, and Megan was the one who originally got the vote on you. And that's how me and Megan got all the numbers on you, because I was like, if he's not having those conversations with me, and he has time to make them with her, and he's a number for Kat, then he's got to go.
Well, one thing for sure, I was wanting to vote you out at some point in time, but I felt very intimidated by you. For some reason, you intimidated me and scared me. I didn't want to vote for you, but you did a good job.
Thank you.
So, Kat, I enjoyed playing with you since day one, but my question really to you is, I got a couple things. One, I don't know if our bond maybe was as strong as it could have been, maybe, because it seemed like you had a bunch of other people that are really close to you. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. But my second question, so you can answer both of them, is after I left, I really was having a hard time seeing where your gameplay went at that point. It seemed like, I don't know, I just didn't see you at the top of the game after my vote out. So correct me if I'm wrong with both those statements.
So I was instantly on the bottom after your vote out. At least I felt that way. Like, I don't know if that was the case with people, but that's how I felt. So I had to pivot there. And so I talked to both AJ and Lane and said, hey, let's create a 3-track, because we kind of already get along. We kind of already like each other. They both agreed to that. And then I created that chat after you left. So I pretty much had to claw my way back because losing you was like really, really tough. And it was even worse because everybody freaking left me out of that vote. The only other person that voted with us, which I thought it was Lane, but ended up being Julia. So like it was really frustrating. Like everybody knew about the Amy vote. It wasn't a secret, right? Like several people knew. And so to be like betrayed by that and feel like, oh my gosh, like where's my game going? I honestly didn't know like if I would even be here, you know. But the reason I'm here is because I pivoted and I didn't completely break down to the point where I just gave up. I actually looked for other people after you were voted out. I will
Well,
say that I will say this, Jesse, about our relationship is I valued it a lot. I feel like we connected, especially early on. But what really was hard was when you were constantly busy and weren't showing up, and then other people didn't have the same experience that I had because they told me why they voted you. Like Gigi told me, Lindsay told me, um, and I forget who else, but like they told me why, and that became a hard thing. So that that's why that happened. But like for me, it was hard for me to lose you, but everybody wanted to they wanted to take my people away, like the people I felt close to, and that was really difficult, and that was probably the worst time in the game for me.
Well, it seems like that you had went from top dog to underdog really quick, and you somehow still were able to make your way up to the top, and that's freaking impressive. And so I want to say congratulations to you three, because y'all did something that anybody couldn't do, or that I certainly couldn't do, which still upsets me to this day. But anyways, I really do appreciate it. So y'all get them and own every move that y'all can, and I'll check y'all out on the other side.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Jesse. All right, Jay, go ahead.
You're going to say school. All right, next up is Lynn, who unfortunately cannot be here, so Kevin does have a video with her questions for y'all.
Yes. However, before I do that, let's just make sure that you guys can see this.
Hi, AJ, Kat, and Lane.
You guys can see that, right?
It's loading, but yeah.
All right. I believe there's multiple questions here, so we will pause it when she asks the question. All right, here we go.
Hi, AJ.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me start the timer. All right, and go.
Hi, AJ, Kat, and Lane. If you guys are watching this video, that means I was not home in time to make it to Final Tribal to ask my question live. So I do apologize about that, but I do have a question for you three. It is going to be the same question for all of you, just for the sake of ease. You can answer in whatever order you want. However, for the three of you, my question is, one, what trait so you're not a juror right now, but if you've ever been a juror in the past, what trait do you value most in a finalist when determining who to vote for?
All right, so we'll start with that one.
That question is 2 in 1, so just play the rest of it. Sorry, I think.
Okay.
And two, what quality or trait do you think that this jury specifically values in a finalist? Do you think you exemplify that trait? Why or why not? And do you think that that's going to hurt or help your game? Thank you, guys.
So we'll do the first one first. Sorry, I'll got it together. But first question is, he goes, what do you guys look for in a winner when you're on the jury?
Yeah, what trait do you look for in a winner?
And she didn't give an order, so just alphabetical. So AJ, Kat, Lane.
Yeah, whenever you guys want to start.
I think for me, whenever I play, like, I ain't gonna be mad. When I get voted out, my wig gets shifted. I'm bitter. But after a couple of days, and when Tribal Council happens, I listen to the speeches, but also I look at the overall game, and who honestly played the best game is usually who I vote for, who owns their game, who visibly played the best. I think this jury, I haven't got a chance to talk to everyone, so I don't know really where they all stand so far. Everyone seems open. I know that a lot of it seems to deal with kind of emotions. What happened? Why'd you do this? So I think that it could kind of be relationships, what your relationship with people. And I think that could hurt me because I did have to play the middle, and I did have to make decisions, and I did have to hurt people. but I think that the jury respects the game of Survivor, and I think that you can tell the two apart, game and personal. And nothing in this game was personal. All my relationships and conversations were real, but I had to make these moves to get here, and I hope that they see that.
Yeah, for me, when I'm a juror, anytime I'm a juror, I look for the person that plays the best overall game, that can embody outwit, outlast, outplay. And I'd go from there. I also, for me, connections are important. I do agree with that. Did you care enough to get to know me? Did you talk to me? Did we have a bond to some degree? For me, I feel like this jury is looking for all of that, and I feel like maybe I've got the biggest hill to climb with the two people I'm sitting next to, but also the kind of game I played, it was definitely kind of an underdog game ever since the Chessie vote, but also it didn't stop me from still trying and still fighting, and I'm going to do that in this FTC as well.
Yeah. Can I just get a repeat of the question? Sorry, I was dealing with my dog.
Yeah, so she said, two questions were, because she did, those who did answer it, so it was, when you're on the jury, what traits do you look for in a winner? And what do you think this jury is looking for in a winner? Because both other two people have answered it, so.
Also, update, you guys only have like about 3.5 minutes left, so yeah.
Okay, so personally, what I look for is basically what they said, outwit, outlast, outplay. But like everyone has a different path, so like I look at how they explain what they did and how they did it, like really the best. Because usually when I'm on jury, I don't decide until it's time to decide. I try to keep an open book. And then this jury, I think probably loyalty, where I did lack a lot of that with everyone, because I was only loyal to people that I wanted to be loyal to from merge on. So, and I think that's what the jury might be looking more towards, is who was with them and how they helped them individually.
Okay. The second part of her question, do we answer that?
Yeah, they all answered it. I think, AJ, you answered it too, right? What you looked at. So then the last part of the question, just go ahead, was, you probably remember it better than I would.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, let me find it real quick. Because she did type it out. Which thank you for doing that. Yeah, so she said, if so, do you believe that is something you, this part I don't think you guys answered. Do you believe that is something that you possess? Why or why not?
Like the traits in what this jury is looking for.
Right. And you do have, by the way, you only have 2 minutes. So.
I believe I do, because I think that if I've hurt someone, that means that there was trust, and that means they trusted me with their game and they cared about me. So I had that social connection with them. I just hope that they respect the decisions I made and see that with the anger and with the emotion, it has to come from something.
Yeah, I feel like the outwit part was obviously like coming back from losing an ally to everybody wanting to take my ally away and coming back. So I feel like I do embody those, and I think outplay, I was able to win an immunity idol, individual immunity for the first time in my org career, and I found advantages, both the pre-merge, like the original, and the swap. And I do think that's part of outplay. And outlast, obviously I'm still here, even though like it looked bleak for me at times, but I still made it here. And I think I was an integral part to both Lane and AJ's games, because if they didn't have me, like I could have easily turned on them and been like, hey, I'll work with these people and take you out, because you guys are obviously big threats. You won immunities. But I was just as important to them as they were important to me.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't have the full loyalty with everyone, but like the people I was loyal to, I made it to the end with. So I did have that trait to a very good stamina to the people that I connected with on a game level.
All right. I think that's everything.
Yes.
All right, Jay, if you want to let in the next person, someone I'm sure
Yes.
has something to say.
I want to say, if you can turn on your mic and with your camera. Well, words. But anyway, we have always keeping it spicy, full of fun and energy. You know, we got Brandon over here. I'm sure he's gonna have a lot to say. Brandon, go ahead. Your 7 minutes starts when you start talking. Come on stage and pick me up. Oh wait.
It says, I think you disconnected. Brandon, if you want to come back, you did disconnect.
Oh wait. He has an Android, right? Is he here?
He was, and then he left.
Brandon has an Android, right? I think Brandon has an Android, so he's going into issue with Capital.
He was fine, and now it's okay. There he is.
Okay.
All right, Brandon.
I have an iPhone. Sorry, I still can't. I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. Like it's not
No, you're
showing.
good. This is an Android glitch. That's why I was making sure. We figured out how to fix it. But you're good. You're on. We can hear you. Okay.
On my screen, it's not showing anything though.
You don't see the final three?
I do not. Sorry, just give me 2 seconds.
I can see you.
Okay, okay. What is this? Anyways, I just want to congratulate. My vote is open. It's very messy for Jay to say that. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, my first question is going to be different for the three of you. My question is for AJ first. AJ, with all your I'm hearing you had a lot of alliances in this game, and did you ever feel in trouble if it wasn't for Kat? Because I really strongly, and the jury also strongly agrees, that Kat was your number one ally, and were you always going to be loyal to Kat?
So before me, Kat, and Lane got in a chat, Megan had actually transferred me her advantage, and she had pitched going for Kat, and I was actually going to do it with her. I didn't just per se get to the merge and go with Kat. I found out about her advantages, and I did see them kind of. And you were at the swap too. They were kind of like the big dogs to beat. They weren't at the bottom at all, and so I felt like they were a big threat. So I was open to doing either way. And the way the game panned out, I had to cut numbers and find a different route because I couldn't really tell where the other connections were when I wasn't with them. So it wasn't that I was just with Kat the whole entire game. There was a pre-merge, and I was open to taking her out with Megan. And then Megan kind of wanted me out, and it didn't work out that way. And I started working with them. So it wasn't like I was just stuck like glue with Kat the whole time.
Okay, thank you. Lane, it's no doubt that me and you started on a tribe. I was working with you and Julia at the beginning of this game. You quickly betrayed that real quick, knowing that. Also, I want to know a little bit more about in your opening speech. You mentioned that you didn't trust me because you didn't know, or you thought you knew I had something, and that's why you voted out Dustin. I think the jury and everyone wants to know was this your idea to take out Dustin?
100%.
And how did that overcome?
100% it was. Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
I called Kat 5 minutes before the live, and I said, we have to vote someone else. You pick a name. She picked Dustin, and I wrote his name down. It was all my idea, 100%.
All right. Okay, and then Kat, I don't really have a question for you, but I do have a statement. Why does this keep buffering? Like, am I good?
You're good. I can hear you.
I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, Kat, and actually, I'm gonna let you have an opportunity to speak. So for someone who always wants to start games with being a fresh start and always clean, have a clean slate. You never seem to ever trust me, and I take it very personal at this with 4 times now. I know I threw your name out at the beginning, but that's because I only heard you call the first shot on the first original tribe by a couple of people from your tribe. So I just want to know, you threw the first shot at me and never gave me that opportunity to talk to you in the game. So I just want to hear a little bit on that.
No, people were coming to me saying you were already throwing my name, and then also Gigi and Darcy. So it was really hard. But also, Brandon, I don't feel like any kind of dislike towards you. I think is all like in the game, like in this game particularly. I'm not talking about other games. I'm talking about this game
No, that's
particularly.
why.
We did not start together. We did not swap together. I had made promises already. If maybe if there was a chance we were on the same tribe, I could have easily done a fresh start with you. But we were never together, and I didn't want to go back on the promises I had already made to other people. So
Got you.
as far as the target for you, it was like, oh, Brandon's talking shit on you. Everybody told me that, Brandon. So it wasn't like I would have given you that shot if it wasn't for that. And also, like I said, I already have made promises with other people. I think you're a great person. I think you're a good player. I think you have a lot of smarts. You clock people. Like you have a perception of people that's really good. It just didn't work out for us this game. And I'm not saying it never could. I'm just saying for this game particularly, if we're gonna focus on this game,
Yeah,
that's what it
we
was
are.
for me.
That was just my opening connection. Like I said, I let you answer to what my feelings were in this game. I do have, and we can talk about this after if you would like. I just hope if we do run into each other again in another game, it can be a clean start, and we can, even if we're not going to target each other until we have a choice, because right away Dustin ran to me and said you were calling me names, and I never even met Dustin yet. So that's why I'm coming and asking you honestly if we can just start over and cut this now, because I do have evidence showing that, and I haven't even spoke to you yet, like in this game. So I'm really wanting to run in. If we ever run into another game together, I want to, maybe we can have a different outcome. My vote, I want to hear what the other finalists are the other questions are. My vote is open. I am leaning one way though, but I do have more questions. I hope the other 3 jury members will have. I wish nothing but the best luck for the 3 of you. Honestly, you guys got there and I didn't. So yeah, good luck. I don't know how much time I have left, but
you have 42 seconds.
Good luck, and may the best person win. And yeah, how do I?
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. All right, Jay.
Yes, I believe we're waiting on the beautiful and Jeopardy queen herself, Gigi, but she's just getting on, so.
Yeah, she said she's coming any second. Oh, I never ended Brandon's time. All right, there she is.
All right. Yeah, I forgot it was my turn. Okay.
All right, your time starts whenever you start talking, Gianna.
All right. So congrats, you guys. Congrats, final 3. I do have a couple comments before I ask questions. For Lane, I do like the fact we actually kind of got to connect more in this game, but I can't really call you a friend for life yet. I still feel we need to get on a call and really get to know one another. But besides that, my main question is, when you use the safety without power advantage, you really didn't even have to use it that night, because your name wasn't even around. It was like basically on Megan to go. So did you use it because it was expiring, or did you use it to show trust with Megan if she ended up staying that round?
No, like Megan said before, we really didn't have a game relationship. It was expired, and it was just to use it, just to be safe in case a flip did happen, because you never know. So I just took the safety when it was there.
All right, 'cause I think you said something about, oh, we all flipped to Megan or what have you for the vote. And I'm like, wait a minute, you didn't even vote for Megan. So I'm like, what are you talking about? But okay, thanks for that. Kat, I do feel we really did grow and get to know one another more and connect more. But I know you also said you would only keep me as long as you could. So at all in the game, did you kind of use me as a number to make sure you had numbers to keep you going, or were you really trying to have a connection with me?
No, I really was trying to have a connection with you. If it wasn't for the promises I had already made to people, like I think it could have been something where it could have been you and me in the end. And I generally, and when I said my opening statement, if I could give my spot up to anybody, it'd be you or Julia. I meant that because I feel like you deserve to be here too.
All right. So to go along with that, oh shoot, I was gonna ask. I'm sorry. Um, so there was nothing I could do to convince you to try to at least let me go to fire at that. At the end, it was just I had there was no, there was that was it. I was just going for sure.
No, that was actually like I look back on that now and I knowing what I know now about Lane, about lying about several things and not being honest with me, yes, I would have given you that opportunity had I known that. I think you absolutely did deserve that, and I did contemplate that. I did. I don't. I'm the kind of person I didn't want to go back on my promise to somebody I made a final three agreement. So that was the only reason. But I absolutely would have given you that opportunity.
All right, thanks for that. AJ, I have a comment before I go ahead with the question. After we did the final challenge and you won, I didn't like the fact that you stuck your tongue out like pretty much saying there's nothing, that we couldn't get you out or
Oh,
whatever. I just thought that was real rude and real childish. So
that
that's the only comment I had about that. I don't know if
it
you
was.
wanted to.
The guy I was dating was here, so I was like looking at him and talking to y'all and looking my phone up. So it wasn't like I was doing that at y'all. I was just celebrating that I won. I wasn't thinking about looking down at y'all. So if you took it that way, it was not my intention.
Okay. So my main question for you is, why were you afraid to take me to the finale?
Because I saw the jury members rooting for you, and I know how likable you are. I've seen you at the end, Gianna. I know that you always underestimate yourself, but you are a good player. You know how to talk, you know how to win games. And I was scared of you and Darcy at the end. I don't think that I could have beat you because I had built connections with you all that I knew people would be mad at me. I know that you're probably mad at me because I feel like I let you down. I know Darcy's probably mad at me. And that's because like I did grow close to you. I am close with y'all. But I didn't feel like I had a good chance to beat you. And I really put a lot into this. I stayed up all night several times studying and doing things. And so I had to do the best thing for my game. And none of it was personal. I love you as a person. And if you took anything personal, I do apologize for that. It was never personal.
All right, because there was still like 3 or 4 other jury members that I didn't get to make that chance to make that connection with and stuff, and I still would have had to convince, talk to them and talk with my speeches and questioning to
Right.
see if they would even vote me. It wasn't going to be a straight away vote for me, so you still could have had a chance to beat me.
I just know you, girl. I know you're good.
Okay. But yeah, I'm like, when are we gonna have this chance to work fully together in the game? I'm waiting for that too, because I feel like every game it gets close like
Right.
this and then it doesn't happen.
I
So
feel okay.
maybe.
If you want me to be honest and be 100% transparent, I knew that you, Kat, and Lane and Darcy had a chat. That you guys had grown close on the swap. I knew that I had a chat with you guys. I knew I had a four um, with you, Darcy, you, and Lindsay. And Darcy would always kind of speak for you, and I would never. I own it. I didn't get to talk to you as much because of our work schedules. It wasn't. It was just that we didn't align in the speaking part, but Darcy kind of filled in, And Kat was always pushing to keep you around because they always wanted to split you up. So I didn't know, honestly, where everyone's loyalty was. I didn't, and like I figured I had to go and make the moves I did to make it down to where, okay, if I needed to work with you to go against them, if they turned on me, I could do that. And to go to 4 to 5 with you guys, if I needed to, go with you guys, depending on where immunity was, I could do that too. You know what I mean? Like I had options that way and keep myself safe. It was never anything of me not wanting to work with you or wanting you out in this game, because with the Megan vote, they were voting you, but I switched the vote to Megan. So I did protect you in this game. I never wanted to just get you out at all.
All right. Well, that's all I have. I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you, Gianna. All right, Jay, who is next?
Sorry, just Darcy had to lunch, so I just let her know that she'll stay on after. All right. Well, next up we have the victim of our lovely legacy advantage. Maybe searching for those votes. We have Dustin. Dustin, come on and show your face.
Your time starts whenever you start talking, Dustin.
All right. Hi, guys. It's been a long time,
Hi.
But congrats on making Final 3. I thought I was going to be there this game, but it wasn't in the cards for me, but that's okay. Okay, AJ, you're just gonna chill for a second because I have questions for Lane and Kat to answer first. Kat, I'm gonna go to you first. So Lane did reveal in his final speech and with an earlier question that it was your idea to throw my name out there. Why did you choose me when there was a bunch of other people to choose from? Because I felt like I was very close to you, and I was like almost your number 1 or number 2, even after not going to the swap with you, because we talked game almost every day that we were together. We talked strategy and everything. So can you just kind of walk me through why you chose my name and not somebody else?
Yeah, it's pretty simple, Dustin. So yes, as I explained to Amy earlier, AC/DC was my heart. Like that was the thing I would have been committed to. It sucked that we got split up, but when we hit the merge and when we reunited finally, I felt like there was a disconnect with you and Amy. The other thing too is that number one, no one was ever saying your name. You were flying completely under the radar. You could have easily won this game. You're another person that deserves to be here. Because no one was talking about you. You could have easily made it here. You were a big threat. If you weren't, but here's the thing: if I had the opportunity to take your idol because you did tell me about it, but I chose not to do that because that would have put a target on me, and I didn't want to use that advantage that way. Like that's one thing about my game that was very important, is that when people told me about their advantages, I didn't leak it like other people did. I didn't. But also like that's the main reasoning why I threw your name when we made that decision together to throw our 2 votes. It wasn't just Lane. It was me too. So, and it was me that said the name, and it was because number one, and this is no disrespect at all, because Dustin, I actually respect you a lot because I feel like you could have easily won this game had you gotten here.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like I could have won because no one was saying my name. Everyone was trying to work with me pretty much almost. I haven't talked to Gigi and Darcy yet, but they both said they would made a one-on-one if I survived that vote. But yeah, so thanks. Lane.
Hello.
Hey, I've been hearing, and this could just be speculation, so just bear with me. I was told that both you and AJ knew about my idol before I revealed it when I left. Is that true? Did you know I had it before I left and revealed it to everybody?
I found out the day that you were voted out, yeah.
By me?
No, it wasn't from you. It was from, I think it was in the chat with Kat and Julia.
Okay, because the only people
I do think it was Kat that said it.
Okay, because the only people I told were Brandon, he figured it out, Amy, because she was my number 1/2, and Kat. So
Yeah,
I don't.
then it was in the chat with Kat and Julia.
Okay. AJ, how'd you find out?
By process. So what I really think happened, and by process of elimination, we were on that tribe. I saw who saw it. I knew I didn't get it. I knew that you and Brandon had both told me like where the advantages was because I had played it off like I didn't know where it was. So I knew you guys knew where to look. And if you remember, I called you that night and I said, hey, like Brandon told me he has some advantage. He has to get to merge to play. I don't know if he has it, but he does not tell me what it is. But I feel like it could be a legacy advantage or something.
Yeah, and I remember you saying that, and I think if I remember correctly, I was like, oh, it's either played at 11 or 9 or 11 or 6.
Right, that's when, because I thought that's when it was played. So when he was playing at 12, I thought you could play at 11 and 6.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't do my idol because I thought I was good. I'm flying under the radar. No one got me, so but that's okay, whatever.
And so what I think really happened was I knew Kat had her advantage, and I knew that you told Kat you had your idol. And so I do think that you got voted out because you told the wrong person that you had an idol. I think
the only reason I told Kat I had an idol is because she told me she had an idol.
Right. But I think that that's why your name got brought up was because you had an idol.
No, that wasn't.
Because what else? How else sense would it make to vote someone out if, like, you had worked with them prior and then just got back with them, unless you knew that they had an idol and they told you, and you didn't want to use your power on them, so you instead blindsided them in the case because I told you about and others about Brandon's advantage. So in case something did happen, because we all talked about throwing votes somewhere.
All right, I'm gonna pause right here. Thank you. But my last question, and this is for all of you. Did my vote out hurt, help, or not affect your game at all? And any of you can answer. I need all of you to answer, but whoever can go first.
I mean, I think it helped because you were flying on the radar and you were a big threat, so it allowed me to make it further.
Yeah, I think it definitely helped my game as well because once you left and then Jesse left, it was just me and AJ left for males, and it kind of had everyone else targeting each other.
It hurt my game because I felt like on the swap tribe you were the first person that I connected with and that I really, really liked and I thought I would go far with in the game because we just seemed to click. And I didn't foresee you going home, so it did hurt my game because I lost Amy there as well because she didn't know essentially who voted you. So it kind of like you were the person that connected us. So it kind of hurt in that aspect of the game of having her as a number as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Lane. I was gonna pitch your name soon. It wasn't at that vote, but it was coming. I was thinking down the line. Kat, I was never gonna write your name down ever. So there's that. And AJ, I was gonna write your name down eventually, but it was gonna be really far into the game. Okay. So congratulations, everybody. Good luck. We'll see what happens. So good luck, everybody.
Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you, Dustin, so much. Next up, we have the bold, the amazing, horror, beautiful Darcy.
Hey, everybody. I just got off of work, so I am very tired, and I don't know what's going on, and I don't even know what questions were asked. My main focus is more than likely going to be AJ, because AJ, I feel like I was the closest to you, and the way that the vote out happened and the way you did me dirty, it hurt me. You can ask production. I cried because that's how much that vote out hurt me. I would have rather you told me than for you to leave me completely blind the way that you did, because I would have never have done that to you. Lane, we played together, but I still feel like I didn't really know your gameplay. And I guess my question would be, what strategic, like what moves did you specifically do yourself
The vote on
and take
Jesse.
ownership for?
The vote on Jesse, hiding that, and then also calling Kat and getting her to pitch a name to vote out.
Okay.
And it's successfully working.
Gotcha. And Kat, what about you? Same question.
What the vote moves that I made?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I did not play like necessarily a flashy game. The thing that I will own is the fact that if I could keep a promise, I kept it. Unless I was giving a reason not to keep that. And there are several
But
instances of that.
yeah, I was gonna say, because I was gonna cut you off because Julia is a perfect example of how that was someone that you were supposed to be close to, but you still voted out anyway. So
I voted
that
her out because I found out that she leaked my information, and I could no longer trust
yeah,
her.
yeah. But then we found out that you were leaking information as well. So it's like it didn't offset itself. So essentially, you were doing the same thing to each other. So I don't see that as honest and loyal. I that's just me personally. AJ, what specifically did you think you did as far as, like I said, moves that you did?
I think that, well, I know you had two, so I'll answer them. I just want to apologize to you. The way it was is I knew that you guys had a chat with Lane and Kat. And when it came down to the vote, I never wanted to vote you. I wanted you to win that round. And when it came down to that, I knew that Gianna had been mentioning my name and Lane's name to Kat. And so I felt like, oh God, what am I going to have to do to prove my loyalty to them? Because through our final three, it was always me and you. You were right. But you kind of spoke for Gianna. So I didn't know how close you were with Gianna versus how close you were with me, because in our chats, you would always be like, oh, Gianna's down, or oh, this. And so I didn't know really where you lied, and I should have been more of a man and asked you. But because of the way that I knew that you guys were also in the chat separately, I was afraid of how we could change votes last minute and whispers could get around, that the wrong things would mess up and that it would mess up me getting here. And I honestly say that if it means having a friendship with you or you voting for me, don't vote for me tonight. I'd rather have you as a friend, and I do apologize. I don't care about the game. I care about you more in that aspect. Of course, I want to win, but I care about you more than a game. You are a person, and I do care about you. And I do consider you a friend, whether you consider me one or not. And the moves I made, if you look at the merge, I was able to be in a final three with you and Gianna, in a chat with you, Lindsay, Gianna, and that 4 chat from our RG tribe, a final three with Lane, and then a chat with Megan and Amy. And I was able to keep us all my loyalties I kept in the game till I couldn't be loyal anymore. And I knew I screwed myself then because I connected with all you guys and I had talked so much. I was like, I usually have to fight my way up. And so when I actually had people that I was fucking vibing with, and it got down to the point, I was like, what the fuck do I do here? I'd almost rather people hate me because it was hard. And it was something that I did bad in the game, was managing how to tell people things, because I was scared of what would happen to my game after that. But I do think I used advantages, even though I knew they weren't going to be a play. I knew if Kat was playing or if she wasn't playing, and it got people to change votes to Megan, to other places, to unanimous votes, so that one, Kat couldn't call it her move. Lane couldn't call the States Without Power his move, because I knew where the votes were going. So I knew that they really never even needed that advantage, but it also built trust with them because I was telling them where the votes were going, but it was also keeping trust with you guys, because we're all voting the same.
Okay. How much time do I have?
You have a little over a minute.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure if I have anything else. Cause like I said, I'm not sure. I don't want to repeat and ask what was already asked. I just want to say good luck, guys, and I just, like I said, know that I still feel from that vote out that happened. That really just was something that was. It's gonna take a minute for me to get from. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else. I appreciate you. Thank you for asking. And pick a number between 1 and 100.
69.
Okay.
42.
Okay.
31.
All right. That's my time. Good night, everybody. Don't forget to tip your waitresses and have a great day.
Thank you,
And I'm
Darcy.
Yes, I agree, Darcy. Tip your servers. But
Absolutely.
AJ,
Enough.
you did win final immunity, so that is all. It's yours. You did get to decide the order for final statements. Do you have it ready for us?
I'll do Lane, Cat, me.
All right, so Lane's going first.
So then,
Yeah.
you get like y'all each get like. Do you want 5 or 7 minutes? Depending on y'all.
Okay, what do you do? I've never done this before. What do you do?
5 minutes. It's just like a closing statement, like wrap up, and just like wrap up everything, kind of.
Okay.
All right, so you want 5 or 7 minutes, Lane?
No, everybody.
I'm pretty short spoken in person. It probably won't even take me 5 minutes.
All right, I'll still set the timer regardless, and we are gonna just go ahead and just spotlight you. So go right ahead.
All right, jury. I played a pretty low-key game that I've never done before. I'm usually up front. I like to be in the middle of all the conversations. This time, I laid low. I let everyone else just bring information to me, and I made moves undercover. I know a lot of people like people that own up to them right away, but if I did that, I would be sitting where you are now, and I am here because of the moves I made. Dustin, I am sorry that you were the victim of the first move that happened in merge phase, but it was a very crucial move that pushed me forward, alongside with pinning the vote from Jesse onto Julia. That really helped me solidify an alliance with AJ and Kat, which stuck all the way to the end. And I'll talk about pre-jury. There was a time where my very first tribal, where Kat and I actually, as soon as we went onto a tribe, we discussed taking out Danny immediately because we know how big of a social threat he was. And that really did set up Kat and I to work together for long term. And that was one of the best moves I think both of us made in this game, was linking up together. And yeah, like I said, I'm pretty short spoken. So thank you all and have a good night.
All right, thank you, Lane. So Kat, I think you're up next.
Okay. So first of all, I just want to apologize for anybody that I hurt in this game. I know I hurt Justin. I'm sure Brandon felt the same way, and I want you guys to know that your feelings are valid. I'm not just saying Tanner to you. There were times in this game where I didn't think I was going to be able to get through it. Especially at the end when I felt like I don't know if I deserve to be here. I'm sorry. I don't get emotional, but like there are times in my life where I didn't feel like anyone saw me, and I felt like in this game people either were trying to take out my allies, the people that I was close to, or I was misunderstood, underestimated. But I want you to know that I may not win this game, but I'm still going to fight for it. I'm still going to fight for your vote because I feel like I deserved my spot here. I feel like I went through a lot to get here, and I feel like as far as outlasting, I feel like if you I feel like if you didn't go, I wouldn't be sitting here right now, even though despite the end. And I've said it once during this, or twice, but I feel like other people absolutely deserve to be in my seat, and maybe they should be in my seat. But I did earn my spot here, and I feel like I want a chance to earn your vote. And if you're closed off to me, if you don't want to hear me, then vote for who you want to. But I'm going to ask for your vote because I feel like I want this win very bad, but I would understand if you want to go out another way. But that's all I really have to say, and it's probably crap, but like I I've gone through a lot to get here. I do feel like I earned my spot. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kat. And finally, we will go with the winner of final immunity, AJ. Whenever you're ready.
I just want to thank everybody for their time and production for all the things that they did, minus Kevin. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
And I also want to congratulate
No, I'm kidding.
Kat and Lane, because I do think that you guys earned a spot here. But from the very beginning, I set out to dominate this game strategically, socially, and in challenges. I embrace every challenge, not just to win competitions, but to establish myself as a presence in this game. I wasn't only a strategic threat, I was a challenge threat and a social threat. I know that I have a lot to learn, and I don't think that I played a perfect game. I know that I hurt people like Darcy and others and the decisions I had to make, but know that I made those decisions to get here, and I hope that you can see that the relationships I built and who I am as a person were genuine, and the moves I made in the game were hard, but it got down to the point too. It was no one left but the people that I really, really liked, and I really do care about everyone that was right there. And so again, I apologize if I hurt you guys, but I really, really, really want you to see that if you're feeling emotion, anger, or anything towards me, that is because you trusted me. That's because you believed in my game. That is my social game. I hope that you can take a step back and see that. And I hope that you would please reflect on the entire scope of the gameplay, the strategic maneuvers, the bonds, my immunity wins. I played this game with intention, strength, and unwavering commitment to outwit, outlast, and outplay. And I do believe that I deserve your vote to be the sole survivor.
All right, thank you guys. The hard part for y'all is over. You can go ahead and breathe. The jury messaging right now. They have like 45 minutes. There's been slowly some interviews. Should not be that long. They're about to submit their votes right now. I'm going to get on them, but we will make another StreamYard when we're back, and we will call you guys when you're ready. So go ahead, breathe, do your thing. The hard part is over. Now it's just the wait. Facebook will see you hopefully within 45 minutes with a reveal of your next role.
All right, see you guys soon.